Welcome to IMPACTX2050. Our community curates impact investment and innovation trends globally in edtech, health tech, and food tech. Every week, we put the spotlight on innovators and investors to listen to their impact stories. Profitable, sustainable, inclusive, and innovative is how we define impact. So what's your definition? Coming up now is our next guest. Enjoy.
Hi, my name is Youmna. I was born in Beirut, Lebanon, and I now live in Brooklyn, New York, and I'm the co-founder and CEO of a company called MiniStudio.AI, which aims to use generative AI to bring the imagination of children to life.
Youmna, welcome. As you said, you're founder and CEO of MiniStudio.AI. You're not only an entrepreneur, but you're also a designer, an artist, and even a producer and a character of one of the biggest kids TV show in Middle East. So before we talk about your business, tell us a little bit about your own life story and what brought you to create MiniStudio.AI.
Yeah, they're very interlinked. So I grew up in Beirut, Lebanon in the 90s, right at the end of the Civil War. And I compare myself to Obélix, the French cartoon hero, because
Not really.
because he fell in the magic potion when he was a child, and that gave him all the superpowers that he didn't choose. But basically, I had an uncle who saw all my imaginary friends with me, and anything I would draw, he turned into a puppet, and they became giant characters that became the heroes of a TV show for kids called MiniStudio that he created entirely based on my imagination. So anything on that show, from every single song to every storyline, every character, was created hand in hand with a child and my uncle. And that gave me the ability to take what's in my head seriously, because an adult showed me that a little idea, a little seed in your head could germ into form through arts and mold an entire generation. So the show became the most popular TV show for kids in the Middle East. It aired every single day for 25 years at 4 p.m. It was called Mini Studio, and then we had another show called Kids Power Show, and I grew up on screen. But there was no separation between my room and the studio, because they were both places to create and to work. And we were lucky to be protected, not to have social media all around us. So I was really just surrounded by great craftsmen the whole time, from composers to musicians to animators to designers, camera operators. And that's why I say I'm like a baby. So I got so lucky to have that as a childhood in a place where the environment is pretty difficult to live in, because Beirut, after the Civil War, even until now, is still an environment where, you don't get electricity all day. You have the whole problems of, it's the hub of so many crises that are happening currently around the world. And to have that bubble of infinite mental possibilities was just such a blessing. And this is what I aim to give back with MiniStudio.ai.
So you want to recreate this in a way, this kind of creative bubble, right? And with something involving artificial intelligence. And I think everyone talks about AI and ChatGPT, but what does AI has to do with kids' imagination? Tell us about it.
So generative AI, since it came out earlier in 2022, is scary, of course, but if you embrace it and look at it as a tool that can be used for good, it is actually a way to visualize your dreams, because any idea that you have in your head, any prompt that you can describe, can be put into form by the AI. So you don't have to draw well to express an idea you have. You don't have to write well to be able to feel confident and put something together that can be shared with the world.
So give us an example, because I'm a terrible drawer. For example, I have a lot of ideas, and sometimes I feel frustrated by this. I'm not a kid anymore, obviously, but so tell us how the product works then.
So it's super simple. The first thing we're doing is we're transforming children drawings to magical characters with AI. So kids can draw their imaginary friends, take a photo of it with their phone, and instantly have a magical 3D character created out of their drawing. That character they can use to take to multiple stories and universes every single day. And we ask the parents and the kids to use our apps together because we designed our apps specifically to be tools to connect kids and their caregivers so that we help parents pass on messages to their kids through stories that we personalize with AI, where the stars are the imaginary friends of the kids.
Mhm. And I find AI and creativity quite antinomic, but it seems that you're kind of reconciling them. So it's basically creativity powered by AI or expanded.
Totally, totally. Because, I mean, there is creativity. You can have so many ideas in your head, but never bring them to life. And you can have there's something intangible about creativity or ideas or imagination. And there's something very tangible about AI where you can visualize it, it gives it form. And that we've seen children draw something and then have the AI generate a result, and then going back to the drawing board and improving it and making it better, or the AI generating a story for them and then taking that story and dissecting every element of it and having 20 offsprings from that story. So it's just really a tool for play and to develop that interdialogue that you have with yourself or with the adults around you and really give it shape, give it form.
And you speak, with a lot of passion about it, and it sounds exciting, and I would love to try the product. I'm wondering how parents are reacting to it because the concept of AI and kids seems a bit scary in a way. There is a lot of resistance from parents, when it comes to screens and sometimes technology. And so, how do you deal with that anxiety?
Totally. And it has also been a big concern of ours that we're not taking lightly because we have parents on our teams, etc. Um, so there has been two different reactions. There's been the parents who are very anti-AI and very scared by it, who don't even want to approach our product. There are those who are very excited by it, and there are those who are in the middle. When we show them that we are here to embrace AI ethically and creatively, and when they read the depth of the stories that we're generating for kids, I think they're really understanding that we're not here to be an AI company. We're here first and foremost to be a company that creates impact and experiences that bond parents to their caregivers in a meaningful way, in an emotionally meaningful way. I always compare ourselves to Pixar when Pixar created the first computer animated film, but it's almost not about that. It's about how beautiful and emotional and unforgettable those films are. And this is the magical experiences we're trying to bring to every parent and kid, where they have this platform for personalized storytelling that helps parents pass on important messages to their kids. So we've had parents come and tell us, my son doesn't know how to express himself. I want to create a story to teach him how to have confidence. So we created the story with the AI, with his imaginary friend, the dinosaur that he drew, where every time that he wants to say how he truly feels, the dinosaur spits fire instead because of how nervous he is. And the whole story takes the dinosaur on a journey where he finds the gift of having the courage to speak up for himself, etc. We've had other parents asking us to create stories for their kids around teaching them patience or gratitude or empathy, or even just to listen or to go to bed early. So we're really here to help them communicate with one another. The AI is a facilitator to me. We're not an AI company. We're a company that's here to create connection.
And so you are at the beginning of the reinvention of MiniStudio, MiniStudio.AI. Tell us how you see the future of your company. What is MiniStudio.AI version 2030? Where do you take it?
It's a personalized Netflix for kids or personalized Disney where children can see cartoons that they created from A to Z, where they are creators of the content they consume with their caregivers and their parents and not just consumers of that content. And we see it not only on screens, but also in physical experiences. So we started here in Brooklyn to bring children to a virtual production studio of our partner and projecting their imagination back at them in a way that's larger than life in real time. And building physical spaces for us where children can come and draw, scan their drawing, and then instantly have it turn into something spectacular that they created is really magical in itself. So we really see it as the next Disney, but where the kids are the ones creating the content. It is not a top-down approach.
It's interesting. I think it was a British educator, I think Mark Anderson, maybe I misspelled his name, but who said all kids are creative, but school kills creativity. Do you agree with that?
I agree. I was lucky to have a system of school because actually at school, my teacher made fun of my drawings.
Really? Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
You should send her or him a postcard now.
totally. It was actually a big motivation in my career to go against that.
Very good. Youmna, I guess you are learning all the time. You're a lifelong learner. What are you learning those days?
Wow. I'm, this technology moves so fast that really my learning is very technological based. So right now we're learning how to create multiple facial expressions on the same character through AI. So we're able to automatically generate comic books for kids where the character has really deep emotions or very subtle things in their faces that change and that give them that. So technology wise we're learning so much, and we have such an incredible team of engineers and product designers to get us through that. I'm learning a lot about fundraising because it's the first time I fundraise for a startup. I'm learning a lot about communicating an idea, that is in my head to the public and making them believe in it. And then every milestone, every step of the way, having something more to show that makes you bite into that idea.
So always learning. Youmna, we're going to get into the next section of the interview, which is the rapid fire question.
Okay.
So I'm going to ask you a question, and you're going to have to answer by A or B. Okay? Are you ready?
Let's go.
Left brain or right brain?
Left.
Are you more about the big picture or the small things?
I wrote a song called The Small Things.
I know, that's why I'm asking.
I'm about the big picture.
Okay. So for anyone, you should listen to your song called The Small Things. Creative talent or entrepreneurial perseverance?
Entrepreneurial perseverance.
Okay. Remote work or every day in the office?
A mix of both.
Okay. Profit or impact?
Impact.
How do you define impact?
I think impact is leaving a long-lasting impression on someone. The stories and the content I've been exposed to as a child have defined the adult that I've become. And I think that goes for everybody. And when you're building for kids, we're not in it for the hit and run. We're in it for the marathon of this becoming a companion that brings meaningful stories to kids and parents that help them grow emotionally.
Okay. And finally, who would you like to nominate to be part of our next story, and tell us why? Someone you admire, someone you respect, someone who will reinvent education. Who would that person be?
I think definitely my co-founder, Marcella Rica, who is the most incredible content creator I know, because she's actually a therapist, she's a psychologist, inner psychologist. And initially she created this process that mixes therapy with visual arts, where a story is the way to impactfully, emotionally create an emotional journey for a user. And this is the premise of all the content we're creating for kids in a very light, entertaining, subtle way. And I really think we're really at the intersection of storytelling and how to create content in a new way. And right now it happens to be AI, but at the core, it's we're about the impact, the emotional impact of what we're doing.
Okay, well, I'm sure we will find time to interview her. Youmna, thank you so much. Good luck with MiniStudio.AI. And it was Youmna Chamcham, co-founder and CEO of MiniStudio.AI for IMPACTX2050. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Benjamin.